Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Juan coming at you. I'm gonna do a little video on how I set up my Whistler 1040 and the Whistler 1065. And I'm gonna try to make this as clear as possible and make it as simple as possible. I saw a lot of reviews and feedback on the Whistlers on how difficult it is to program. And I think it's because of misinformation or pretty much misinformation sometimes, or alternate software that is used. So I'm gonna go through it as simple as possible. First step is radio reference. If some of you are familiar and have the Whistler and know about radioreference.com, it's a place where it updates databases of frequencies based on location. And again, I might be misspeaking, so excuse me because I'm still kind of an amateur at all this, but I kind of catch on somewhat. So I did decide to get both radios, the handheld Whistler 1040 and the base station 1065. So what you want to do to start off is you have to pretty much, in order to get frequencies from Radio Reference, you have to pretty much subscribe, become a member to get a premium package where you're able to get a lot of information, get all you need from Radio Reference, the databases and the frequencies that you need to upload to the Whistler to make it very simple. I'm at my website. I'm logged in already. And what I usually do when I get to this point, all I usually do, I'm not doing too much with this. I'm not going to show you that much, just show you what's out there. So once you get your premium, which is like $35 a year for this subscription, and you can explore a lot of this if you want to. But once you're on this site and you get familiar with the site, just go around, check out what they have to offer. I usually go into the database section. And in here, you could find out, first of all, it'll come to this page. Let me get back. It'll come to this after you click on that one database section. And you can find out what's near you or browse it by state. And you could look up a lot of stuff by browsing by state. Or you could just click on what's near you. In here is to give you a map of the states, every state. I'm in South Carolina, living around Charleston, South Carolina, suburbs in Summerville, South Carolina. And I'm going to select South Carolina, the state. In here, see if I selected the right one. Yeah, so I'm here at Charleston, South Carolina. Let me adjust my computer some so you guys can get a good picture. In here, it's broken down by counties. As I float around, you can see that it changes colors and it'll tell you what county it is. If I click on Charleston here, it'll bring up information and data about Charleston's frequencies and stuff like that. And I'm just showing you some of this. I'm not gonna go through it in great detail. Once you float through it and get used to it, you'll understand it. But once you get your premium package, you're basically ready to download or upload your frequencies. So after you do this, you could either come here and it'll take you to an area where they got links to the software that will assist you with downloading the frequencies. But the website you want to go to download it directly, it's called Butel, B as in boy, UTEL.com. So I'll type in Butel, and it'll be Butel software if you want to look it up in your browser. See where it's at. So this is the website for Butel. Here, you just type in Butel software in a web browser, and you could click on a link to Butel, and it'll be butel.nl, and it should take you to the website. In here, you'll also sign up for it. There's no fee to sign up, but you got to purchase the software from these guys. These are just guys' third-party software in here. And in here, it'll have specific software for whatever radio you have. It does have the Uniden, the option to get a Uniden software, stuff like that. So these are the radios that it covers: Uniden, Race, ICOM, Whistler, Radio Shack, AOR, and GRE. If you have these radios, they're all specific. If you click on it, whatever one, I got the Whistler, it'll show you what software you need to download. And if you got the Whistler, you're going to want to download the arc500 basic, unless you want the Pro. I'm fine with the basic. That's all I need. You click on this and you purchase it, and you download it, install the drivers, make sure you have everything installed. Once you have it installed, once you're registered here, download the software, purchase it, install it with the drivers, which come with the package. Then it's installed and you're ready to start doing your programming. Come down to the start menu where I have it located basically, and just look for Butel, and it'll be here. Click on it, and I already purchased for the Uniden 125, which is kind of a worthless one because it's conventional and I don't have anything conventional. I'm using the P25, Project 25 system, so I'm using the arc500. I was mentioning that the arc 125 is the scanner is a Uniden scanner, which is only conventional analog. Basically, it's non-digital. So I learned that there's nothing coming through on conventional in our area. It's all digital. So I use the arc500 for programming the Whistler. And it's fairly simple once you get used to it and understand it. So here's the screen. It's a typical program, nothing new about it. Same old menus up top, similar menus that other apps have, but they're pretty specific for this program, for the scanner. And the buttons here are all pretty much the same thing that's up around the menu. They're just basically like shortcuts getting to it right across here. So over to the left over here where it says Object Browser, you have your pretty much trees here where you got a conventional frequencies, talk group, limited search, service search, spectrum sweeper, and trunk systems. I'm using the trunk systems with talk groups, so that's what I'm focused on because I'm not going to use the conventional. I know nothing's coming through on conventional. Up top, what you're going to use primarily is the file. You can use edit as well. You can use the shortcuts here if you want to do the cut, copy, paste, similar things on like an Excel spreadsheet. The view, you won't be using too much of that. I got it set on expert. Options, in here you'll be using some things if you're going to be removing a line or inserting a line or finding duplicate frequencies that'll help remove duplicate frequencies, stuff like that. Once you go through all that, you got to get a good idea of what it's about. But you'll only be using file, options, maybe edit for cut and copy paste, stuff like that. The internet is where radio references where you're going to need. That's what you're going to be using. So focus on file, I would say options, internet, and then the scanner, because that's where you're going to download from and upload from. The other ones, you could go through them if you need them. I don't need them. But you do need the help in order to register and activate this before you start. So you want to do that first. Register and activate the software before you start using this. Or else it'll just be on demo mode, limited. All right, once you got the software installed, you registered, you paid for the software, it's ready to start doing some work. Once you're ready now to connect to radio reference, you go to internet, menu, select radio reference. Now again, I'm focused on digital and trunk systems. Radio reference opens up in this window. You'll be logging in with the username and password that you use for radio reference to log into the radio reference website once you've gotten your premium package set up. Once you logged in, now you're connected. Once you connect, every time you open this up, it'll automatically connect. Then you go down to the state. You want to select the state. Now this right here, I'm going to go through all these real quick. The state is what you select, start off with. Country. Down here, it'll be the county, but you won't be able to do anything until you select the state. Agency is up to you if you got stuff like that around your area. I'm not sure. I don't bother with that either. Below that, it'll say conventional agencies, trunk, and nationwide. These are grayed out. You won't see it on this video, but I see that they're grayed out. It won't do anything until I select the state and county. Down below down here, you have the data tab, tag options, trunk options, service tags, TG filters, and update info. I don't worry about nothing but the data. That's all I need. It's up to you. If you become an expert and you understand all this and mess with it, it's up to you. Over here to the right, far right above that is view county. You won't be messing with these, or view updates for new frequencies, I guess. I don't mess with that too much. Below all this down here, you have your select all, unselect, expand, and collapse. You won't be doing too much about select all. You're going to be specific what you want, because you do got encoded talk groups. All right, with a trunk system, it works with talk groups, so I'll show you that in a second. Over here to the right of it, it tells you the amount of talk groups that will be here. It'll populate a bunch of frequencies and talk groups, but what it'll populate here, it'll show you the total, but over here to show you the amount that you select. So whatever you select, you'll see this number change from 0, the amount of frequencies and talk groups amount of talk groups you selected for trunk system. If you want to learn about trunk system, there's videos out there that explain how the trunk system works. Basically, a network sharing the frequency of a network of talk groups sharing a frequency. Down below this box, down here is your import scan list. You got up to 20 on the whistlers. You basically select whatever frequencies and talk groups you want to drop and monitor on a certain scan list, one of these banks, or there's like 20 banks. You just select it and you select which bank you want to put those frequencies in. And then you just basically hit import and it drops it into the next menu, which I'll show you. So I'm in South Carolina. I'm gonna select South Carolina. And then I'm gonna select the county. I'm gonna select Charleston County for now. Next, Bella, get down. Bella, get down. My dog going after the popcorn. So I got the Charleston County. And then you want to select what do you want? Conventional, agency, trunk system. This box where it says agency here, which you'll be using in trunk system. If it's conventional, if you select conventional, it's just going to bring up your conventional frequencies. I don't use it. It won't select it. This agency will not be available to use for conventional. If you select agencies, you can select, but it's all conventional as well here in South Carolina. Nationwide, I don't bother with. Trunk systems is what I focus on. So I select trunk system. All right. And here on the trunk system, select whatever you think you would be using. I use P25, Palmetto 800. That's what it's called here. P25 phase 2, and it tells you when it's been updated. You also have Palmetto. Let's see, you got 2 of them here. the South Carolina Public Authority, which is also Project 25. I haven't heard much come through here, so I don't bother with that too much. So I stick with the Palmetto, what I know will work or does work. And some of this you'll test out what you could get and what you can't. If you can't get it, just don't bother with it. Pick the one that's giving you the most information, the most channels, the most transmissions. So I'll select Project 25. And what you're going to see here is populating all the sites, simulcast sites and different types of sites by county. Over to the right, you have your talk groups all populated. Now, if you select a site, you need to select the talk group that you want by the county. And it'll tell you how many groups are in each one with talk groups IDs. Each one of these have an ID assigned. I'll show you that in a second after I break down the sites. So under sites, you want to be careful depending on how much your scanner can hold. You want to be careful on how many frequencies you add to your scanner. Sometimes it won't allow but a certain amount. Sometimes it'll bring up something about a duplicate. It says duplicate. You can select that and go with it, but you'll have to want to remove the duplicate frequencies later, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to select Charleston County here. Charleston counts. I'm going to use the simulcast for training right now. Simulcast County channels 24. You even got a GPS location. So if I do a drop down on that, you'll see a bunch of frequencies. The only frequencies that you're going to be able to use are the ones that down at the end, it'll say primary, alternate channels. There's only 4 of them I could use in this whole list. So what I do, I select the Charleston Simulcast County, and this is the fastest way to download your frequencies very quickly. I'm going to select the alternate channel frequency, which is here, alternate frequency. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. If you can't, ask me you can send me some questions. But I'm removing the ones that don't have anything. And you don't have to. What happens is I'm going to check these back in. I'm going to show you what happens after I move them over. You can select just Charleston, Simulcast County, and look up what simulcast is about Charleston. Simulcast, it's just a system of network of radios and sites, stuff like that. You could look that up and find out how that works. But this right here, when I select them all, after I selected them all, only 4 of them are going to transfer over, even though you selected all of them. Not sure why, not sure if these are allowed or they're purchased or being used for some reason and we can't use them, but you will only see the 4 that says alternate and primary. So once you selected Charleston, you come over here to the talk groups to find out which county. I'm going to use Charleston. Let's try EMS first. So I'm going to select all these guys. Let me see if anything. I'll select them all. And I'm going to show you something else. Which one is it? I'm going to select it. Also, it'll show, after you select them, it'll show down here, like I mentioned, these are the talk groups. There's 1,732 talk groups. Over here, I selected 27 because I selected Charleston County EMS 27 talk group IDs. These are the IDs. That's how they identify talk groups, by IDs. While over here, these are the frequencies that these IDs will be sharing using the 4 frequencies that I'll be using because they share this frequency. So I'll scroll down, and again, you could look that up and find out about talk groups and frequencies and how they do the trunking system works. I'm gonna scroll down some more, and I'm gonna select this one too. Let's see, this is the fire department. I'll select all those. And I select them, it increases in numbers. And I'm gonna go down to the next one, Charleston County Fire Department. Let's select those. You don't even have to open them up for the fire department or EMS, but you want to open up, let's say you want the sheriff's office. Let's see, sheriff's office. You want to open that up and I'll show you what happens. Why? Right here in this color, the ones that are in color are the ones that are, if you move all the way to the right at the end of each line, it'll say full encrypted. Means you won't get anything. Whether you got a phase 2 scanner or not, you're not going to get anything that's encrypted. So don't even bother. So what I do, I select Charleston, all the sheriff's department, anything they can come through from the sheriff's department. And then I uncheck all the ones that are encrypted. I don't want those. Those are just going to give you the, if you remember Charlie Brown, the teacher, when she talks, it's like, that's all you're going to hear. If you do the encrypted, you're not going to get anything. You can't do nothing about that. And if you try, it's illegal. So now I've selected all the encrypted, fully encrypted ones, so they would not transfer over. So I have a total of 86 talk groups that are going to be moved over that I will be loading into my scanner. So what I want to do next after I've done that, so I selected my frequencies, all the ones I want, even though all these are not going to transfer, only 4 of them, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then you come over and you do your talk groups. If you try to do the talk groups, it's not going to let you by itself. If you select something over here and not a frequency, it's not going to allow it. You got to select the site. All right. Then you come down to the import scan list, in scan list, where it'll import all this information into the scan list you select here. I selected one for now, and all you have to do is press import. And now you can close this out, or you could leave it open if you're able to do that. Close that out, and you come back over here to the object browser. Under the object browser, you notice that conventional, nothing's changed, but the talk group has 86 talk groups, the talk groups you selected. Then you go down to the trunk system object. It shows just one because you only selected one site, the Charleston simulcast site. If you click on the trunk system, it'll show you the one you selected. P25 is what you used as far as the trunk system. Underneath that, on this over here to show you the frequencies that are in that list. If you double click on it, there goes the frequencies I was talking about. Only 4 of them transfer over. The other ones did not, because I don't know if they're purchased ones, private ones. I'm not sure why it works like that. But that's all the frequencies you get. So what do you think we do next? You got all everything you wanted, all 86 of your groups that you wanted right here. So I'm gonna turn on my radio. I already got it programmed, but I could reprogram it. And I'll turn you over to the 1040. Just got some information coming through now, but what we're gonna do next, after my Windows stops popping up, what you can see here, and you can listen and see if there's anything.
Go back to service. Copy, thank you.
I got lights. You could set color codes to this as far as what organization is calling. Like if it's an EMS, I got it set to green. It'll light up green. Anything transmission coming in from EMS calls that you set up here.
Copy. See if you can get in contact with one of the managers, see if they were able to get a hold of a fire alarm company.
I'm gonna turn this down for now. As you can see, it's my 1040 is working using this app. Close that out. Back to the program. And there we back here. So if you needed to change a color, let's say this first line here, you scroll over to the right, and in here allows you to enter. If you click on the box, Gives you a drop down arrow. Look down, you could set a flash or solid color when there's a transmission coming through, and it'll give you the color I just showed you. You say flash. Right next to that, you can select the LED color. Do the same thing and select the LED color you want. I'm gonna select green. That's what I use for some calls, but you're not going to see anything probably if there's no calls coming in. This is an incident, which probably won't work. Trying to see if there's one in here I'm familiar with that will come through. Probably not. This one, these are out of my range because you'll be selecting the counties that are within your range that cover your area. And you could look at that on radio reference by looking at the map on radio reference. See if I can get that for you. For something like you'll get used to looking through all this. This Palmetto 800. That's what I usually do. I go in here and I always do the Palmetto 800, the project phase 2, to look at information. So if I click on that, it's going to give me all the information for Palmetto 800 going down. And if I scroll down, I got all the counties listed in here too as well. But I'm gonna be using the Charleston Samacast County one. I'm gonna click on that so I can see where that if it's covered in my area. So I'll click on that, and in here you'll see this information as well. And you scroll down, and you can see a map at the bottom where it'll show that it does come into my area where I live. And these are a lot of the sites that are within that circle. If you read up above, it'll tell you the latitude, longitude, and the range. All right. I think it's about 40 miles of range with that radio. And that's just a little tip on how to look for the counties that are around your area. So I usually select Charleston, Dorchester, and Berkeley County overlap where I'm at. So Berkeley would be over here and Dorchester would be over here, and it'll be overlapping where I live. That's just a tip when you get used to using radio reference, trying to get through this stuff. All right. Hopefully that helps some, but you'll get used to it when you play with it. The main thing is that you got this software that connects to radio reference where you can pool all that, what I showed you how to do for digital trunking, unless you want conventional, works the same way. But if you get conventional channels, if you hear anything. Over here, now that you've done that, what you want to do is you're ready to upload to the scanner, basically. Click scanner and upload to scanner. And you'll see the scanner. See if I could turn on the light for this. When I get ready to start uploading, it does a check of all the frequencies first, make sure there's no errors. And I hit the start button. This window comes up. There'll be one window that comes up that does a check that disappears kind of quick. Then this window comes up. Make sure you're on the right COM port, that's set up on the right COM port with the cable that's provided for Whistler. And all you do is hit start upload. And I'm going to show you what it's doing on the scanner. So it's starting to upload here, and then it's uploading on the scanner. I'm sorry the light went out, but you can see it counting by percentage. I got the light. The light goes out on this guy to save battery light power. So it's complete. My scanner is now programmed. I don't know if anything's coming through. Not sure. Right here, you see it, all the channels flashing. Those are, if it's flashing, it's because doesn't have anything programmed in those channels. But you could turn off all those channels, but just pressing the number like 2 will disappear, 3 will disappear, and keep going all the way over until you get all you just want to monitor the channels you want to monitor. So that is how you program with the Butel software. Pretty simple. I know there's another software that comes from Whistler or something that it's very difficult for people to use. This one right here is straightforward, does the job. Not sure if Whistler, if you contact with Whistler, Whistler didn't tell you about it, but this is how you program very quickly the channels you want. And remember to ignore the encrypted, fully encrypted ones, or else you're going to be not hearing any, you're going to hear a lot of garble, a lot of Charlie Brown teacher talk. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. A long video, but I know a lot of guys are frustrated trying to program it, this and that, not getting anything. Understand your counties, that it overlaps where you live in a radius. If you're picking something that's way out of range, you're not going to get good distance on these radios. So if it's not within your range, do not bother to program it in. Just look for the maps, make sure it's overlapping on a radius, and you'll be fine. You should be able to get some information or some transmissions. If you got, you'll look and see on your frequencies whether or not it's going to work for you or not, or if you're getting anything. All right, that's it. Hopefully this helps, folks. I try to make it as simple as possible and as clear as possible. So you guys have a good day. Get back to me if you have any questions. I don't have a problem trying to answer if I can. Take care.